Israel, there lived three young guys named Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They were some pretty solid youth, and they loved God with all their heart, that things were going pretty well with them, until one day the wicked king Nebuchadnezzar took over Israel, and he took Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and a bunch of other people as captives to his own country, Babylon. What happened next? Well, they didn't know anybody there. They didn't speak their language, and worst of all, they were forced to work. Sounds rough, isn't it? But did Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego freak out? No. They believed in God, and they knew that God would protect them, and they prayed and worshiped God every day. One day, King Nebuchadnezzar decided to have a huge statue of himself built. He wanted it to be 90 feet tall and made out of gold. Once the statue was built, he ordered people from all around to come and see it. He had musicians set up all around the statue, and he gave the order that when they started to play, everyone would bow down and worship. That's when things got interesting. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were some of the people who were ordered to come and see the statue. They weren't really interested in worshiping King Nebuchadnezzar. They only worshiped God. So what happened? Just like the king had ordered, the band kicked in and everyone bowed down and worshipped, except for Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. As you can imagine, the king wasn't very happy with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego disobeying his orders, but he liked Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, so he gave them a second chance. So the band kicked in again, everyone bowed down again, but no, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego did not. They stood firm and told the king they would only worship the one true God. King Nebuchadnezzar was furious. The king's guards grabbed them and took them to a huge fiery furnace, a giant oven with flames blazing out all over it. That thing was no joke. It was very hot. The king decided to give them one more chance to bow down to him. If they didn't, he would have them thrown into the huge fiery furnace. Did Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego bow down to him? No, they trusted in God and were not afraid. They knew God was more powerful and stronger than King Nebuchadnezzar. If God was on their side, they didn't have to be afraid. They totally refused to bow down to him. The king ordered the furnace to be 7 times hotter than it was. It was so hot that when the guards opened the door, the heat was so strong that they were instantly killed. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were thrown into the furnace. But what happened next? Nobody expected this. There in the furnace stood 4 men. Wait a second, were only 3 men thrown into the fire? You know Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? Who was the 4th person? It was the Son of God. Jesus was with them and was protecting them. King Nebuchadnezzar asked them to come out, and Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came out completely unharmed. Neither their clothes smelled like smoke, nor their hair was singed. Isn't that incredible? That's why they weren't afraid of the king. They trusted in God, and they knew that he would be with them when times get tough. Exactly. That day, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego showed everyone in Babylon that the one true God was with them always. No matter what came their way, they didn't have to fear. And that is totally stinking awesome. Jesus says in Matthew 28:20, "Lo, I'm with you always, even unto the end of the world." Amen. Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, Daniel's 3 friends. They didn't know was told, we had a miracle. Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, not only Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, you did not bow, and I will soon be dead. The king in anger said, Then thou was told to the idol made of gold, Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego.